Muy buenas a todos, soy Focumero, esto es Focumero Gaming, estamos un día más en Space Force 3. Vamos a hablar con Undergast para que me desbloquee la última habilidad que me interesa bastante, los pulsos de fuego explosivos.
This place and these people lack guidance without you.
They did?
Yes, the Lord Marshal tried to assume control, but as you might have expected, he did not have everybody's support. I was even fearing an internal power struggle, and I'm glad it did not come to that. I must say, Tahar, your mother, she is remarkable. I have always wondered what the Shapers look like, and now I do. It is fascinating, though I suppose this is a difficult topic for you. Forgive me if my words were inappropriate.
No pasa nada.
It's all right.
Good. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Yes?
Pues... ¿Dónde creciste?
Go on. You don't look Nortandian.
I do not. That is correct. I grew up in Imperia.
Imperia? That's a long way from here.
I know, but I hardly have any memories. My parents fled from the Civil War and set over to Northander when I was only 4 years old.
So you were refugees?
Yes, much like many Nortandians are now. We lived in the Utran lands, and my parents are still there.
Interesante.
You're the first Imperian I've met.
I am not surprised.
¿Cómo era tu relación con Lena exactamente?
So, Undergast, when you told me about your split with Lena, I got the feeling that you were more than just colleagues.
You are asking if we were in love. Am I correct?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Then let me start by telling you that the term love is undefined and that theories about it conflict one another. I have read a lot of books on it, and I've studied the poems, and I've come to the conclusion that it is ultimately a primitive, carnal urge that people have come to romanticize for the emotions that come with it. I, myself, never felt it, and maybe that was because I saw the underlying mechanisms. I always found it strange how people overreact so strongly to such a simple emotion, and maybe that very fact stopped me from being able to feel these emotions at all.
And yet you fell in love with Lena. Y aún así te enamoraste de Lena.
So, what you're saying is that you were never able to feel love, but then Lena came along and you did.
No, it was not that simple. What stood out in our relationship was that we connected. I've never felt that before. You see, Tahar, to me, the bonds people have always felt peculiar, and I am not like Iana. Her mind simply does not have the ability to feel these bonds anymore. She had them once, but then she lost them, as she became a dreamweaver. My brain is capable of feeling these things, but I am unable to connect with the outside world. I only have my own mind as a frame of reference. For example, when a person tells you yes, whereas he or she means no, you might be able to feel this discrepancy because you are able to empathize with her. I can't. To me, this person's distress would make no sense whatsoever, but then there was Lena. For some bizarre reason, she understood me and I understood her. Or at least, I thought that I did. It was as if this barrier, this shell that separates my mind from others, was pervious to her emotions. I know how strange it sounds, and I also have no explanation for why this was, yet it changed me. All at once, I felt connected. Do you know this feeling, Tahar? You have traveled with these people for quite some time now. Is there anyone you were, well, fond of?
Sí.
Well, yes, there is.
I see. Then you probably know how distracting such a feeling can be. To be honest, when I first became aware of that bond between Lena and me, I was horrified. I could not focus anymore. When I sat down to write my studies, I realized after hours that none of what I had written made sense at all.
Y supongo que vuestra relación se terminó con el desacuerdo.
Am I right to assume that your relationship ended with your disagreement over the Creators Guild abandoning its neutrality?
No, you misunderstand. We never had a relationship. Although the feelings were mutual and we, well, acted on them, we never felt the need to bind ourselves to some close-minded societal construct. But yes, you are correct. It was the disagreement that broke our bond. Quietly, she left and never returned again.
¿Y cómo te sientes ahora?
How do you feel about this?
That is a good question. I still think about her, almost every day. But the more time passes, the more this entire episode starts to feel like a vague, distant dream, the way an elder must feel about youth. I do not know how I would feel if I ever saw her again.
I can imagine. Well, thank you for trusting me with this, Undergast.
You have nothing to thank me for. If this conversation helped you get a better picture of me, I'm glad we had it. But there is one more thing I would like to ask you, Tahar.
Tell me.
Do you have regrets? Do you ever feel as if you could and should have acted differently than you did act?
Sí, por supuesto. Y hablo de mi propia persona.
Yes, I do.
I understand. You see, I've never told you this, but I find your resilience to be remarkable.
How so?
Well, it is no secret that you have endured a lot of pain, especially your early childhood must have made a mark on your psyche. But still, you did not give up.
Hago lo que puedo.
Well, I'm doing what I can.
I can see that. Either way, I think we have spent enough time talking. We should get back to the tasks at hand.
We should. So long, Endergast.
Yes? What is it?
¿Qué más queda? ¿Cómo se puede utilizar magia blanca y negra?
I've noticed that you use both white and black magic in combat. I've never seen anyone do that before. Don't the two schools exclude each other?
Normally, yes. The essence of white and of black magic deeply oppose each other. Trying to combine both of them usually has a similar effect on a mage's mind as adding water onto a patch of burning oil. I, however, never had that problem. The first time I found out was at the Arcane University in Greyfell, where I studied. The white magic spell I had cast on a rabbit to heal his wounded paw accidentally killed it. I was very young at that time, and I knew my professor would be upset if he found out, so I channeled my energy on undoing what I had done. As a result, I created an undead rabbit. It immediately went feral, and I put it back to sleep. But rather than feeling the terrible headache that had been described to us as an effect of combining these two schools, I felt a slight sense of, well, exhilaration. I secretly continued these experiments during my studies, and found out that whatever it is that causes this mental discord among normal mages did not affect me.
Do you have an explanation for this?
No, I do not. Maybe it has to do with the way my mind is structured, or maybe it is a simple coincidence.
Huh. Well, that's odd.
Bueno, hasta luego, por ahora.
Got it.
Vamos a hablar con este también, con Rohem. ¿Qué vida tenía este hombre? Hablar con ellos nos desbloquea la habilidad definitiva, por eso estoy hablando con ellos. Cuando eliminas a un enemigo, claro, tiene que eliminarlo él. Pero puede estar bien que lo tenga, en caso de que luego haya una batalla con todos los héroes. Que hubo bastante que ya tenga que utilizar todos, porque si es difícil manejar 4, serán más bien como aliados de batalla. Vamos a hablar con él, en cualquier caso.
I guess we have some talking. You knew about my mother, didn't you? That's what you hinted at back at the forge, before we set out to the Eye.
Well, the answer is yes and no. I had suspicions, but they weren't enough to go on. And I had no idea your mother was connected to the Bloodburn.
Tenías que haberlo dicho.
You should have told me.
Is that so? And exactly what should I have told you? That I believe you might be the result of your father's experiments? That you're the offspring of some long-dead, forgotten race? Tell me, Tahar, what for? I mean, at best, you wouldn't have believed me. And at worst, it would have cost you your sanity. So no, I don't think I should have told you. I didn't know if these suspicions had any substance at all. And I would have been at great risk, especially back then when you were still part of the rebellion.
Bueno, ya no importa.
I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it?
No. And I didn't get a chance to say this yet, but I'm
Vale.
glad you made it, Tahar.
Ultimate desbloqueada.
We need you in this.
Vamos a hablar con Iana. Y luego con el mensajero y ya finalmente saldremos a la siguiente misión. Por cierto, no sé cuánto dinero tengo. 14.000. Podría vender todo esto aquí, aprovechando que estoy en el campamento, pero nah. Este es un hueco de poción que no estoy gastando. A ver, puedo poner aquí de pociones.
Ah, Tahar. Good of you to come by.
Sure. You wanted to talk?
Yes. I'll be brief. While you were asleep, an elven messenger came by. Barden Marilith, one of the Morhier scribes from Leafshade, sent him.
Meredith? What did he want?
Only that he needed your help. They, that is, he and a couple of his followers, seem to be somewhere deep in the Leafshade jungle. near the Halayish ruins.
La ruina de Halayash.
But what do they want there? That's dangerous.
I don't know, Tahar. We will need to find out.
De acuerdo. Echemos un vistazo y nos haremos un aliado.
Is there anything else you wish to discuss, Tahar?
Pues no sé.
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
Sobre lo que seas. Sobre lo de que seas una asesina.
Assassin. You said that you might be willing to tell me more about that another time. How about now?
I'm still not certain. The question really is, do you want to know? It might change something.
Bueno, no te había preguntado si no quisiera.
Tell me.
All right. Where should I begin? Do you remember what I told you about that man who bought me from the Greyfell Bazaar? My owner? I also told you that after an incident, he discovered my talents and made me an assassin.
I remember. But what does that have to do with your morality?
It's complicated. The incident took place at a festivity. A lot of highly influential people were there, servants of the crown, wealthy merchants, nobles. My master knew all of Greyfell's elites. As always, at these festivities, it was my and the other slaves' responsibility to ensure the guests' well-being. It must have been close to midnight when a man took me into his chambers. I'd learned to play along years ago, because resisting only made it worse. This time, however, was different. For some reason, that man wanted me to tell him that I loved him. I did, but he kept on telling me that I should say it like I really mean it. When I couldn't, he got angrier and started choking me. I had almost lost consciousness when I felt something break. I don't know how else to put it. It was as if my mind simply cracked open, like a crystal ball smashed against a mirror. And all of a sudden, that man and I weren't separate entities anymore.
I don't follow.
My magic, my dream weavery, that's when it broke free. You probably don't know this, but the only way to become a dream weaver is by shattering your mind. You are opening yourself to the thoughts and emotions of others, but you lose your own.
¿Y qué le pasó al hombre?
I killed him. It wasn't a conscious choice, looking back. I even think that shattering my mind was my body's way of ensuring survival. I closed my eyes, reached out for the man's mind, and just crushed it. The man gasped, lost balance, and fell right off the bed. He wasn't dead yet, but unable to move. Like a puppet rid of its strings. At first I was disoriented, but then I felt it, for the first time. The urge.
To kill him.
Yes. To massacre him. Hear his screams. To see his life taken by my hand. I grabbed a lantern that was standing on a bedside table and knelt over him, and... well, you can picture the rest. To get back to your original question, that urge, it stuck with me. I think that the moment when my mind shattered and I became a dream weaver was what unlocked it. Ever since then, I've found violence and bloodshed to be ecstatic, erotic even. And when I kill someone, like I killed that man, I feel alive. Actually,
Vamos, como Widowmaker.
I am capable of feeling anything at all.
This is why you became an assassin.
Yes. My master introduced me into the craft. Probably because he knew that my dream weavery had changed me. I wasn't just a slave child anymore. I was a weapon now. More than that, even. I needed what these new tasks my master sent me on provided me with. It had become a basic need of mine. Of course, I briefly considered changing my profession after my master had his accident. But I didn't. Killing is something I need. as much as a child needs the love of his mother. If I don't feed my urge, I will die. Not physically, but mentally. I just know this.
That's a lot to take in.
I know. Now tell me, Tahar, do you regret asking me this question? Knowing all this, do you think I'm a monster?
No, no lo eres.
Really? That's unexpected. Anyway, I would like some time for myself now. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Yes, Corporal? How can I
Vale.
help?
Goodbye. Will do.
Vamos a hablar con el mensajero y empezamos las misiones.
Interesting.
Hay que ir al Valle de los Humanos, dicho por Angar, al de los orcos y al de los elfos. Y van a venir conmigo estos dos. Y el enano... Bueno, no, si hubiera de los orcos este, si hubiera de los elfos esta. No sé, quizás una.
Oh, great. Another one. How often do you want me to tell you? I'm not a spy, and I'm not with Purity.
Wait, you're their leader, aren't you? Corporal Tahar.
Yes?
Well, then maybe you can tell these fools to let me go. Blazes, I knew it was stupid to take that job.
Mensajera. Vaya voz tienes, mensajera. Déjate de historias. Se reconoce un espía cuando lo veo. Bueno, ¿quién eres?
And what were you doing in Farland's Hope?
As I told this bloody brute who captured me, I'm just a courier, and someone paid me to deliver a message to a Corporal Tahar. I had no idea it was the Corporal Tahar, and had I known, I would have told that guy who gave me the job to sod off.
¿Quién fue?
He was wearing a hood, so he obviously didn't want to be recognized, but he had a brown beard, was about your height, and had, I don't know how to put it, a certain sadness in his eyes.
But he didn't look dangerous and paid me.
¿Puede ser Angar? No, no creo.
Can I see this message?
Oh, finally, someone who asks. Yes, it's in my coat pocket, and no, there's no poison in there to kill you.
Let me see. A meeting in Everlight. From a friend.
A friend, you see? Can I go now?
Todavía no.
Blazes, what's wrong with you people?
As I said, I'll think about it.
As if I had a fucking choice.
Now what
You again. What do you want? You again. What do you want?
Bueno, vámonos de aquí. No sé si habrá que hablar con Regan de la nota. No, en principio parece que no. Vámonos entonces. De Mulandir. Y empecemos ya las misiones. Hay que ir a los elfos, a los humanos y a los orcos de nuevo. Y luego ya finalizar. También hay que hacer lo de la hermana de Argan. Son 4 misiones. Y finalmente asediar a Luz Eterna. Me imagino que sea así cronológicamente. A lo mejor hay más de por medio. Mulandir. Este es de los orcos, esta misión. Vamos aquí, sí. Este me lo ponen obligatorio. Vale, bien. Es lo que quería saber. Andergast y este. A la sombra de la montaña homónima yace un páramo que recibe el nombre de Pie de Valgalgor. Es el hogar tanto de la tribu de los orcos, portafuegos, como de muchas otras bestias despiadadas, desde no muertos a demonios. Mientras que la mayoría de los viajeros se mantienen alejados de Bargagor, por esta misma razón, los portadores de fuego valoran los peligros de su hogar. Según la cultura orca, un pueblo solo puede prosperar y mantenerse fuerte a través del conflicto y el peligro constante. Bueno, eso ya lo sabíamos. Lo del conflicto y perseverar y prosperar.
High Chieftain Gore! High Chieftain Gore!
Do I know you?
Zarek, I'm a tracker. Chieftain Zar sent me to welcome you.
Ah, good. Where are they? And what's the situation?
Bad. The Ash Reavers have started to put up their cow to the northeast. And the Paleskins...
The Purity.
Yes, the Purity. They are only a 2-day march from the mountain.
2 days. That's not a lot of time.
It isn't. Zarek, where's Zar now? And the other ones I asked him to gather.
To the north. They are waiting for you.
Good. Go and tell them we're coming. Tahar, I won't lie. This will be a tough battle. But we have to win it before the Purity arrives. Let's head to the camp and talk to Zar and the other advisors. They'll help us establish a strategy.
¿Y qué pasa con la diplomacia?
Diplomacy first.
This is diplomacy, Tahar. The Orcish version. If we'd let Kagan know we're here before we've gathered some force, he'd simply crush us. Never seek reconciliation without a display of strength. Now come.
Vale, vamos a equipar con joyerías a todos estos.
Gore?
Huh?
Did your kind ever consider moving into a more agreeable climate? Surviving under these conditions must be hard.
Some orcs did. The Moonskin, for example. But as far as we fire wielders are concerned, no. This wasteland is our home, and it will stay that way. The harsher the climate, the bigger the struggle, and thus the stronger our kind.
Vaya. ¿Este puede llevar escudo que cura? Sí, pues se lo pongo. Y este arma 21-22. Este lleva otro escudo. Vale, este es para bloquear, otorga blindaje, está bien. ¿Y el arma que lleva este? ¿Se la puedo poner por otra? Había algo contra orcos, creo, ¿no? Tenía yo. Se me hace que sí, tenía yo algo contra orcos. Interrumpe. Golems, todo golems. Daño blanco. Mira, esto es contra orcos. ¿Se puede llevar este? Sí, esto lo puedo llevar. Ensucia sangre. Lo que pasa es que 13, 14. Sería 20 de daño en total. Mejor esto directamente. Y este que lleve esa lanza, que tampoco puede. Esto contra elfos, contra goles, con daño blanco. Pues el arma que más fuerza tenga, que es esta, supongo. 21-22. 22-24 con capacidad de aturdir. Vale, hace falta la joyería. Este es la de concentración, la que le quiero poner. PS, daño de hielo. No. Inteligencia. He ido por ahí. Esto. Y concentración. Vale.
Yes?
Este. Una fuerza y destreza.
What's next?
Yes?
Puede venir bien para ponerse algunos equipos de estos. Vale, pongo esta lanza. Y joyería, aparte de esta. Este ya tiene joyería, ¿verdad? Que es la de concentración, ¿vale?
Zalraka.
Pues a este le pondré vida. Ahora. Y a este... pues también le pondré vida. Bueno, lo que tenga que me sobre, concentración, por ejemplo, vida... que puedo añadirle daño de fuego. Mejor el daño de fuego. Y resistencias al fuego. Intuyo que sea lo que gasten aquí. Tengo otra más, de hecho. Vamos arriba. Entonces este es la E y la D. Este es la V. Curamos aquí.
I need more time.
Vale.
Interesting. Understood.
¿Aquí qué hay? ¿Más dinero? No. Vamos a coger esto.
Will do.
A ver si contamos pergaminos. Falta un montón de mejoras por descubrir, ¿eh? Un montonazo, tanto de las tres razas. La que más he descubierto ha sido la de los elfos.
Now would you look at
Otro
that?
tótem de estos.
Good move.
What do
Torre de vigilancia abandonada.
Here we are. So I want you to speak to 3 of my men. Elder Zilrak, Chieftain Zar, and Foreman Urash. They'll all want to discuss strategies with you regarding our upcoming fight against the Ash Reavers.
All right. What about you? Don't you want to have a say in this?
Tahar, I'm loyal to my people, but not stupid. You've won many battles, and you'll win this one. I may be a leader, but I'm not a strategist. I'll wait here. Come back once you've spoken with them.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Vale. Entonces hay que hablar con... Voy a girar la cámara, si no, no vamos a hacer nada. Con este.
The Shaper Child. And so we meet again.
¿Cómo lo sabes?
Because Gore told me. Also, I already sensed there was something different about you when we first met. But don't worry, most of us don't. They all know something happened to you inside that dungeon, but not what exactly. Though your new powers certainly invite speculation.
I guess they do. So, you wanted to talk tactics.
Tactics? Yes. I suppose you could call it that. This altar here, it has been in Bargagor for as long as we orcs have existed. To put it short, it's a gateway to Zarek's powers. If you know how to harness it, which I do, and I want to bless you with it. So, there are 2 blessings I can bestow upon you. The first one will allow you to call down fire from the sky, which we can directly aim against Kagan's troops. The second one is a blessing that will allow you to use the altar's power to put some of
La
Zarek's
segunda.
fire into our fighters' blood, which will make them strong, very strong.
Our fighters can use all the blessings they can get. Let's go with that.
Agreed. Then step back. This won't be easy.
What do you want?
It's done. You will be able to call upon the power by touching the altar. Just promise me this. Whatever you choose to use it for, do it with respect.
I will, Elder Zilra. Thank you.
No, Tahar. If there's anyone who owes thanks, it's me. If it wasn't for you and Gore, Krell would have led the Fire Wielders into extinction. Before you go, there's one more thing. Did you ever hear of Black Ash?
I have. It's a very rare material your kind uses to imbue weapons, isn't it? Just as humans use Aria.
Correct. Our elite fighters, our shamans, the troll tamers, they couldn't do what they do without the ash. We'll need it in our fight against Kagan.
Sí, que he visto por aquí bastante. La conozco, es material de las unidades de tier 2 y especialmente el tier 3 de los orcos.
They will also want your opinion. Until then, Tahar, may your blood never boil.
Yes.
Vale, creo que tengo ya esa habilidad. Debería tenerla. ¿Es esta? No, no es esta.
Tahar, Zauraka. Greetings. Gore said we should talk to you regarding our strategy against the Ash Reavers.
Yes. Within the next 2 days, we need to turn this cow into a fortress. And since you've proven more than once that you're one heck of a commander, Gore wanted you to decide how. The first choice we need to make is what kind of fighters to pick to lead our defenses. We don't know Kagan's strategy, so normal axe wielders might be our best bet. Then again, maybe Kagan thinks the same thing. In that case, a pack of warg riders would be devastating. Lastly, we could place our bets on K-Ran hunters and attack from the distance. What do you say, Tahar?
Que prefiero la infantería.
Let's play it safe.
Ya que tenemos a este.
All right. What about expanding? Kagan is still busy with building his cow, so we could either try to gain as much ground as we can now, or put our efforts into fortifying the sectors we already control instead.
Ampliamos el área.
Let's expand. That will give us more control over the area.
I agree with you on that. Lastly, how should we approach battle? Should we strike as early as possible and force Kagan to spend more resources now?
Reunió una gran horda.
Or should we focus on building up a large horde instead?
No point in getting in over our heads. Let's gather a proper army first.
Huh. All right. You're the boss. Anyway, we're through. Best I get started on the preparation. See what the other advisors have to say, will you? I know it's a rare thing for an orc to say, but the better we... May your blood never boil, Tahar. I'll see you on the battlefield.
Vale, vamos a hablar con el último y finalizamos el episodio. Que esto parece que va a empezar ya. Lo bueno. A este tío con los beneficios que da. Es mucho mejor infantería. O incluso caballería, pero no arqueros. ¿Quieres discutir algo?
Regarding our battle with the Ash Reavers.
Yes, it's simple. What resources do you want us to harvest while we set up this cow?
Hostia, ¿qué pido? ¿Comida? ¿Piedra o madera? Equilibradlos.
Good. What about the tools for our workers? I can order some smiths to improve some of them, but...
That's a tough one.
Cazadores pico para las canteras. Creo que va a ser leñadores. Aunque, espérate. La madera la usaban mucho los elfos, pero estos... Creo que era más bien la carne. Es igual, creo que cogeré esta.
Understood. Have you spoken with the other advisors already? If yes, you should let Gore know. Stay safe, Tahar. May your blood never boil.
Bueno, vamos a dejar vamos a hablar con Gore, pero no en este capítulo, en el próximo empieza lo emocionante. Y nada más, chavales. Si os ha gustado, le comentáis, suscribíos y hasta la próxima.